How's it going, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Thursday, December 15th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all very much. Hope that you're doing well so far this week. And a big happy birthday to my brother Zane. Zano, I love you, dog. Happy birthday. Definitely didn't forget. And thank you so much for all the ways you have opened and expanded my mind as the Sag you are. And that you really are, you know. Talk about someone who's a Sag, and he thinks he's Ophiuchus now, but you know what? He can believe what he wants, that Saggy, and, traveled the world, huge philosophies, done so much. An amazing friend in my life and someone I'm so grateful for. So thank you, brother. And whether you watch this or not, I love you, and happy birthday. All right, so we look at the astrology for my homeboy's birthday, this December the 15th. We're going to see the sun at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. It's coming off the square to Neptune. You know, we're still kind of trying to find clarity. We're definitely at a place where we don't want to like play tricks on ourselves subconsciously or, get too lost. We do want to, with a moon in Virgo here, look at our reality, kind of pay attention, right? It is paying attention that is going to give us what we need, but we're also at a place where we can, lose ourselves in our mind too and pick up so much stress. We have to really come back to like letting things go too. We don't need to let little things turn into big things today. There's certain things that we want to be particular about. There's certain things that need to get cleaned up, and there's certain things in life that are just, they can wait, patience. You don't have to, that doesn't all, I feel like we're all ready to just make something happen, and you don't have to, if you have it and you're ready, you know what, this could force the change you need. But at the same time, if you don't have all the pieces together, don't stress over finding the piece. It reminds me of, whenever I lose something, I get hyper focused on trying to find it, and start to, gosh, we'll call ourselves names when we lose something. God, I'm such an idiot. Where is that thing? I just saw it. And it's like in our hand. So that's where just by paying a little bit of attention, but not in a stressful way, we can find what we're looking for. It's like you don't have to force it right now. Sun square Neptune is just not a time to force things. Mars retrograde. It's not a time to force things. That moon is going to square Mars early in the morning. So there almost is this big energy that wants to force it. We want to just impulsively do, to clean, to organize, to figure out the plan. And like we're getting the plan, but Mercury's in shadow in Capricorn, Venus is in Capricorn, Pluto there, of course. We are getting little breadcrumbs of the plan, but Mercury's in shadow, and it is also making great aspects to the North Node with a trine and a sextile to the South Node. The moon's going to do the same thing. It's going to make a trine in the morning over to that North Node. It's going to trine Uranus, and it's also going to, boom, sextile that South Node. And yes, it will start off the day also with that trine over to Mercury too. So it is just this grounded energy that can really be a portal in our life right now towards building this, way forward, finding value. There are things that need to be organized and cleaned up. Do what you have the capacity to do. And if you don't have it, don't drive yourself insane or call yourself names. Like, be easy on yourself today. There's plenty of time, This is where we're realizing we have time. We have time to take a step. We have time to take a step backwards. We have time to look for a piece. But at the same time, maybe we have to let go of that with a South Node in Scorpio and move on. And we're also going to see the moon quincunx Saturn. So it is very weird. It's weird to find patience right now because there's this anxiety that's trying to say, do, make happen, make happen, make happen. Do what you can do, and don't do what you feel like is just beating you up and pushing you into the dirt. Reality can feel strong today. And it's how we use that and how we react to that builds a lot of character. So this is a character building day. It's definitely a day where we can understand what has the most value in our life. We can get, pretty precise and pinpoint these things. But we can also lose ourselves in things that aren't real, things that don't matter, in a, crazy vision and think that it's just real. Maybe it will be a premonition, maybe not. Sun square Neptune. We don't know yet. We're coming out of the fog. We're going to get to a place where there's more clarity. And with Venus in sextile to the south node, I'm sorry, it will be, but it's not quite yet. But with Mercury in sextile to the south node and quincunx Mars exact today, there is this yod to Mars. And Mars is a ruler of that south node, and Mars is retrograde in Mercury's home. Mercury's in shadow. There's something bigger pulling the strings right now, and this is just finding peace and purity within ourselves, not letting guilt beat us into the dirt, not letting reality beat us up, but molding and shifting reality in a way that feels in alignment with what we have the capacity to do. We don't have to overdo it. We don't have to prove something. We don't have to, we don't have to do anything crazy. And I feel like there's a level of chaos that is underlining everything right now that's trying to test us. How do we react to chaos? So I think that it's reacting, responsibly to a level of integrity within our souls, of course, reacting responsibly for the things that we want, what we're thinking, knowing that we don't have to be impulsive right now, and impulse is kind of a thing that's not going to get us very far. All these, trines to the north node. When we understand that slow and steady builds the most valuable thing in life, we're on our game. And Mercury's going to start trining over to Uranus. So there are insights out there. And the moon's going to trine Uranus. There's little things shaking us up, but gosh, they're also showing us how to really ground ourselves in a direction, how to put ourselves in line. It's almost like just take a deep breath and accept that there's change everywhere, all the time. It's the only constant. And realize that through change, we understand new pieces, and we do find that piece, or we find another piece that actually goes to another place that lets us build the puzzle more. Instead of getting like, I need this piece here, but there's still other pieces of the puzzle out there. So we can get hyper-focused and kind of stress on something, but it's almost like using your awareness here and a keen mind and your intuition to pivot to the other thing that doesn't have a block up, that isn't showing chaos, that you actually have an understanding of, and that you can work in that direction. Because the things that we're very unclear of right now, we just can't expect to find clarity right now. As much as we may want it, it's just like slow and steady wins the race. We're going to have all the pieces we need. The puzzle's going to get done someday, and maybe we'll do another one afterwards. But we don't need to stress ourselves out. This is definitely get as much done as you can do without feeling as if you don't do it, you're not enough. It's definitely still that energy. Be gentle on yourself. There's a lot of change taking place just in our own personal lives. And change takes time. Sometimes there's a cataclysmic event that just comes in and boom, holy shit, I have no choice but to change. But I don't know if, collectively we're there yet. Maybe individually, of course, you never know. Anything can happen any day to us. And that's the unpredictability of Uranus that is always present. And it is there today, but it's almost like the unexpected can bring something really special too. It can bring your awareness and your emotions shifting into something that you do have the capacity for, that does feel like it's got the schedule going in the way you want to go. It's got, you feeling better in your body. This is definitely a day to, trust your body. If your body's hurting, listen to it. If you've been eating and you're full, stop eating. Listen to your body, and you'll find that you're doing the right thing. And we're gonna figure much more out, and we could be figuring things out, but I bet we figure it out more through the body and more through what we're doing today that gives us the understanding we're looking for, instead of maybe just the leap and think that we're going to, get it. So see how that goes for you. And Jupiter's hanging out on the cusp of Pisces here. It's a wild ride at 29 Pisces. There's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of beauty, there's a lot of unconditional, energy, but it's this big closing of a big chapter too. So we are seeing many things dissolve in the story of before and getting ready to start a lot of new in the identification and the understanding and the definition within understanding not only ourselves, but understanding how we think in a more, defining way for who we are. So, yeah, it's there's some tension. Be real with you guys. Tension and there's some weight with the earth. And we don't want to just trip ourselves out. There can be anxiety today. Definitely like feelings of inadequacy. These are things that we want to transmute for the better, and that we want to understand that, there's so much beauty and that you have so much that you can do, and it doesn't have to get done right this second, unless you got it. So this is where you're trusting your body to know if you got it or if you don't, for what the big change or task or creation that you're trying to make happen. Cards for the day are the Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords tends to have that higher perspective on things and just sees what the truth is, and might be cold because sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. This is where we don't really know the truth, so we kind of have to wait and see how things feel, what's going on, get out of our head just a little bit, so that we can get above the clouds. But right now it feels like our head is, submerged in the clouds in many ways. The it was Four Cups. Four Cups in reverse. Definitely that card reminds me of like, screw you, God, trying to show me to shift my attention over here, trying to shift me over here. I might feel better doing that, but I want to sit here and I really don't want to look over there. I want to pay attention to this. It's frustrating, it's stressful, and that's the mood I'm in today. Is that really what we want to do? I feel like if we just shift our perspective, we'll find comfort, and we'll find that things aren't as bad as they look. We can make up a lot of stories right now in Sag, and with squares to Neptune, we can make up a lot of stories that actually are not real about ourselves, and especially, being too critical on ourselves or hard on ourselves. That, let's not sit there. Like, let's look at all the positives and find the gratitude and the love for life. Sometimes we just got to suck it up and be like, yeah, could be worse. Oh man, and the Three of Cups in reverse. Maybe it's not the time right now too, as Venus is very like singleton. It's not really aspecting anything, and it has been this way for a couple days in Capricorn. Instead of worrying so much about what other people think or what other people feel, or trying to please people, let's get back to, what's in our own cup, and supporting ourselves, and finding comfort. I would say that we can have a good time, but gosh, especially if we're expecting things from people and they don't, show up with what we were expecting. Like, ideals are heavy right now. So don't expect much from others, and, don't be hard on yourself either, or, have too crazy of expectations for yourself. Like, this is get back to the purity of doing the things that make you feel more in alignment. And, sometimes you just can't pay attention to the drama too of what other people are talking about, or the gossip, right? So don't get sucked up in someone else's propaganda, and don't get sucked up in your own either. Dissolve it. See the truth, which we might not know if it's the truth or not until we take a minute to actually sit with it and feel it. All right. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Thursday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.